This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
If the good Lord never goes on holiday, tell me why.
Oh, yeah. All right. My beautiful islands. Woo. I tell you, if the good Lord never goes on holiday, tell me why he made the
Good yawning this morning and welcome to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk, independence all day. Welcome to On the Clock with Erin, Greene. It is Monday, the 3rd of July, 2023. And let me just prepare you guys. The whole month of July, we talking independence. I want to call these segments the Independence Papers that I hope to throw out provocative and inspiring questions for all of the Bahamian public to consider. Let's start the show with our Sand Dollar Live read. This Tuesday the 4th and Wednesday the 5th of July, central bank representatives will be giving out sand dollars at Super Value Cable Beach. And again on Friday the 7th and Saturday the 8th of July at Super Value Blue Hill Road. Show your Sand Dollar enabled digital wallet at the door and receive $20. Spend $18 or more in Sand Dollars at the register and get $5 back when you leave the store. The offer is limited to the first 100 customers to show their Sand Dollar enabled wallet at each location. One top-up per person so as many people as possible can experience the Sand Dollar. For more details, visit any of the Sand Dollar social media pages or call 302-9880. Joining me this morning is Mr. C.A. Nuri. Good morning, Mr. Nuri.
I'm excited about today, by the way. And good morning to you, Erin, and happy pre-independence.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, we're going to get into the show right before I read the first Sand Dollar giveaway question. A brief note. Hannah Hasty Times family is hosting a meet and greet with Mr. Carl Hasty, family member visiting from the U.S. on Wednesday evening. The Hannah Hasty Times Family Association Committee is asking family matriarchs and patriarchs to reach out to the committee so that we can organize a greeting party for Mr. Hasty. You can call 424-7228. That's 424-7228. 455-7242. That's 455-7242. Okay, the numbers to call today, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. For Bahamians, people in the Bahamas, but not in the capital, in New Providence, we have a toll-free number, 242-300-5720. That's 242-300-5720. So the two songs we opened the show with this morning, Mr. Nuri, both are versions of one of my favorite Bahamian songs, The Good Lord. This song is a classic like Independence Morning, It's Like a Baby Borning. If the good Lord didn't go on holiday, then why did he make the Bahamas? The first version was by the Revolutions. The second version was by Nita. I like both versions. And we should know both versions.
I thought Nita was the originator of the song. I did not know there was a pre-version of Nita.
I thought so as well, you know. And that maybe she didn't write it, but she was the first to perform it.
Okay.
But then I found this earlier version last night doing a little research for the show.
Nice.
And remember when Munnings Jr. called in and we were talking about national songs and he offered Lift Every Voice and Sing. And then he linked us, he gave us a link to the reimagined or the cover the modern cover of Lift Every Voice and Sing that he, an artist, composed. And so I like that. I like to see Bahamians who have identified those songs that are so popular, so important that we have to reimagine it and remake it for the future. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, just a couple of stories in the news. Folk oil expanding into renewables. I can't wait to see this epic. I hope they call it The Man Who Wants to Own the Sun. We're going to get into that later in the week. An important note, apparently there's a sinkhole on Western Road. I want to call the Department Customs to go out there. Can't have unmanned portals in the Bahamas. But residents in the western side of the island are very concerned. They're raising the alarm. A number of cars apparently were damaged over the weekend when the road opened up and what was presumed to be a pothole apparently turned into a sinkhole. So I got this quick note. I just want to remind the government, the Ministry of Works and the Ministry of Housing and Transportation. You cannot cold patch in the rainy season. You cannot cold patch in the rainy season. 2, cold patch is a temporary road fix. It is a temporary measure. It is not a permanent paving strategy, solution. It is not preferred at all by people who own cars. People who manage governments love it. People who own cars do not. This is deeper than whether or not the Ministry of Public Works has inspectors assigned to monitor the roads by driving on them regularly. This is deeper than that. Because the area we're talking about on the Western Road, if I am correct, is reclaimed swampland. So we should have been prepared for this inevitability. We should have been prepared. Also, potholes on the Eastern Road, East Bay Street, Johnson Road, Shirley Street, and the list goes on. It goes on and on and on. And I want to note that you are not even giving us the best cold patch experience possible. You refuse to ensure that those subcontractors that are sent out to cold patch have the equipment necessary to provide a reliable and sustainable product. At this point, it's a joke, except the bills that the people are racking up day after day after day after day after day after day is not a joke. The text, good morning, East Street at Cordo Avenue is a mess. Potholes are very deep. Damaged my car this morning. I have to put that note out there. So let's get to our first sand dollar giveaway question. Every day for the next 3 months, we'll be giving away sand dollars to digital wallet holders. Every day, 2 winners will receive $30 in sand dollars. To be eligible to win, you must have a digital wallet and answer the trivia question correctly. When you call in, give the producer your name and number, digital wallet provider, and your digital wallet address to transfer the funds to your digital wallet if you get the right answer. Listeners are restricted to 1 transfer for the duration of the competition. Again, you can only win once. First question of the day. When was the Commonwealth of the Bahamas flag first raised? When was the Commonwealth of the Bahamas flag first raised? Number to call 323-6232. Another number 325-4316 or 325-4259 or 242-300-5720. 242-300-5720. When was the Commonwealth of the Bahamas flag first raised? Mr. Nuri, I got a bunch of questions. I'm putting together my independence papers. These are questions.
The Independence Papers.
Yeah, that's what I want to call it.
I like the name.
Independence Papers.
Yes.
And so the first question I have on the list, and for the audience, please call in and share. What are the most important things a child must know?
In the Bahamas
the
or for
Bahamas.
being Bahamian?
In the Bahamas. What's the most important thing?
Besides,
Important things a child should know.
besides knowing how to read and write? See how you manipulate that question?
No,
there?
that's important too.
Yeah.
That's one of the important things.
Being able to cross the street.
Safely.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my children just kind of
And launching is not an Olympic sport yet, so y'all start practicing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, our national anthem, I think answers the question for us.
Okay.
What are the most important things a child must know? The first line in the national anthem is, "Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahama land."
And Erin, I appreciate what you're doing here. And since we start off with the national anthem, should there be a national critique of the national anthem, an appreciation of the song, because the national anthem has meaning, and I don't necessarily believe that the Bahamians appreciate that this is a anthem. Mm-hmm. And this is a social belief, a national belief, a direction for Bahamians to go. It's like a promise.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if we're living up to the promise because we don't even know the words.
Yeah.
Do we know the words of the national anthem?
I mean, I know them.
Yeah.
I also, because I have them written here, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna front. I got them written right here.
Yes.
Right? To make sure I get them correct. But everything, I think, right? Like, this national anthem is very interesting. Looking at it, I realized that the most important things a child must know, we could pull straight from the national anthem.
Yes.
I want to thank, I got a neighbor who make me think all the time. Be like, you talk foolishness on the radio and chill out all day. You must think,
Yes.
right? And that's why I like that you offered that. Because we think that critique is just breaking something down, right? It's just negative, looking for all the wrong parts of it. But critique is important to understanding things. And you got to critique everything around you, because everything has purpose. If you're a law student, you're in the legal community, you know that every word in a piece of legislation is placed exactly where it's intended to be. And it has an intended purpose. So critiquing is important, right? And so I read the anthem. "Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahama land. March on to glory, your bright banners waving high. See how the world marks the manner of your bearing. Pledge to excel through love and unity. Pressing onward, march together to a common loftier goal. Steady sunward, though the weather hide the wide and treacherous shoal. Lift up your head to the rising sun, Bahama land, till the road you've trod lead unto your God. March on, Bahama land." So I can tell you what I think the important things a child need to know. They need faith. They need to know about faith.
Explain that.
They need to...
Faith as an F-A-T-E or faith as an F-A-I-T-H?
F-A-I-T-H, faith.
And faith as in believing in God, or faith as in believing that something's going to happen?
Faith in believing in oneself and who created you, right? But that element of faith, it's faith that moved the mountain, right? Sir Randall Fox.
Yes.
It's the faith that moved the mountain. And the worst thing that we do to people is we take away their ability to have faith, right? They say there's another lovely slogan some young Bahamians came up with, right? Say, hope is a weapon. And I agree, hope is a weapon. But we must remember that even hope can be wielded against you, right? And so in the same way, it's important to instill in young people or create an environment, show them how and why faith is important. I think we can pull that right from our national anthem.
Yes.
The second one is, every young child in the Bahamas needs to learn how to swim. They need to learn how to get their bearings. They need to know
The surrounding.
where they are located, how to determine where am I.
I think we lacking in that we are an archipelagic country, a boat country, or should be a boat country because we need to traverse between the islands. But we don't necessarily have a boat culture. The Family Islands has a boat culture.
Yes.
One would assume that, like on a Spanish Wells, even on Long Island. I don't know, I was less than I can explain what I'm trying to get. When you reach 16, 18, about to finish school into Spanish Wells, into a Long Island, the first thing you try to do is buy yourself a boat. No matter the size. Say, well, I have a little skiff here, but this is my boat.
Yeah.
Here in Nassau, we buy a Honda.
Yeah.
But we live in, like, where you going? You only have 21 by 7 miles to drive around.
Yeah.
But shouldn't you get a boat to have that hope or that independence, that freedom to go to Inagua. We're supposed to have the more boat captains,
But-
more boat licenses in any place per capita
the world.
In the world, but it's not happening.
And I tell you why. It's because inherently people don't know how to get their bearings. So they're not going to make the next step. They're not going to make the next step. They're not going to get a boat because they're afraid to sail.
And they're afraid to say because they can't swim.
And they don't know how to get their bearings.
They know what due north is.
Right. They don't, in fact, they don't know how to read the skies.
Nor where the wide and treacherous shores are.
Right. You see, lift up your head to the rising sun. We don't know how to read the skies. We don't know our relationship to the sun, even, and how that alone can help to guide you to where it is you need to go. Right? But like you said, steady sunward, though the weather hide the wide and treacherous shore. We don't know how to read maps or a compass even. And can you imagine what prompted this for me is someone was sharing with me that a number of islands, of our family islands, now have sizable populations of children who do not know how to swim
That's impossible.
and are afraid of the water.
There's two different elements. One is cannot swim, and next thing is afraid of water altogether.
Yeah. And this is horrible. This is a horrible state of affairs. That those children who rely on the ocean the most, right, to be able to equalize themselves with those of us in the capital, no one is ensuring that they have the skills they need to master. Not just like what is their birthright, but where they have been planted, and so some of them become stuck there. They don't know how to swim. They can't get their bearings. They can't read a map, a compass, or the skies, the sun, or the stars. They don't know how to build a boat or a seaworthy craft even. But our national anthem tells us everything that we need to know.
So there needs to be an introspection and either a path set, a direction in regards to our association to the national anthem. We have betrayed the national anthem. Can I say that?
I think so. And having just chosen sailing, sloop sailing as the national sport, right? There should be a moment where we realize that this is supposed to be a catalyst, right? If you're making sailing the national sport, the next immediate thing is to ensure that every child and every island can swim. Not just swim, can manage the ocean, can read the skies, can get their bearings, and can build a seaworthy craft to move themselves.
So you're saying the announcement is a commitment, a proclamation of what should be happening now inside the Bahamas?
And that is inherent. And that's why I've been trying to have conversations about the national sport and what are we choosing and why are we choosing it and what does it mean? Because like you just said, inherent in the selection, the acknowledgement, the appointment, what flows from that is an immediate shift in culture, in the way that we do things. And we begin aligning ourselves to those things that we think are important, like national anthem and national sport.
Do you think that the minister thought about that when they made, and when I say minister, I'm not saying him in person. I talk about the
Ministry and the mechanism.
Yes, the mechanism itself. They thought about the inherent consequences or repercussions of declaring sailing as a national sport, with the responsibility they have to it?
No, I don't think so. And I will say that perhaps they're overwhelmed. Perhaps it was overlooked, but I don't think so. Right? I just don't think so.
Like, we have a huge swimming program in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
But there are a number of persons who would say it's an elitist sport, that only a certain set of people can afford to pay the swimming fees for their children to participate. But it's summer now. government has a number of initiatives that is starting. And now that sailing is our national sport, someone should be duty bound to make sure that Bahamian youth are able to swim or get access to the training. And not necessarily to swim competitively, just be able to float, especially when we have instances of Bahamian youths drowning. It's summer when everyone goes on the beach.
Exactly.
Right? All of this should be aligned that we are duty bound to make sure Bahamians are equipped or get their bearings, like you said, to survive.
Yeah.
And going back, I don't want us to move away from the national anthem because I know you were analyzing that. You are correct. The national anthem is an outline, perhaps, a mandate, perhaps, that we should be living as a country.
Yeah.
It's an outline, and we're not using that as our outline anymore.
Right, and if we look at our brothers and sisters to the north, they're celebrating their, you know what? That was broken.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Something flash. Okay.
So if anybody is calling and I miss you, I apologize. Our brothers and sisters to the north are celebrating independence tomorrow.
Yes.
Right, and we look at them all the time. And we proclaim and celebrate with them, celebrating the tenets entrenched in their national anthem.
Yes.
In fact, we celebrate it like it's our own national anthem.
We claim it, the 4th of July is ours.
Right? But it's important that we do away with this ontological Americanness. We are not Americans.
We're not?
No. Some of us are American and Bahamian, right? Some of us have deep ties. Like most of my siblings now are American, you know? And my nieces and nephews are American. And if I got to be American to go take care of them, I may have to consider it. You know what I'm saying? But look here, I got a caller on the line. Let's go to the caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning to you and good morning to your co-host.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Something you said earlier is very important, and I would like to add to it.
Yes, sir.
When you spoke about the kids owning a little boat on the family island, because I grew up on the family island, and what we used to do, like around 14 and 15, we used to build little boats called barges, where we go around and collect old used plywood, and then we will have a side, we will put a stern, and we will have the bottom, and then we would patch it up with tar. We would go along the bay and get the tar and heat it up in a can, and we would patch that boat. And then we would take that boat across the channels and get a little count. And what that did, it taught us how to take risks. It taught us how to challenge fear. Because when you could take your little boat and go across a channel, right, and you taking a risk to challenge the things in you. And so as we grew up as little boys on the island, by the time we graduate high school, there's a lot of things that we were not afraid to take, to challenge or take risks. And so I think that is important too as well, these little things that we did as kids. And so as an adult, we are not afraid to take calculated risks.
Yeah, right.
I'm talking about good risks now. I'm not talking about risks that's not healthy and good.
Right.
Right? So we are able to take risks where we become entrepreneurs. We had the entrepreneurial spirit. We're not afraid to start a little business. And so that translates into a whole lot of other things in our adult life. Thank you.
No, caller, thank you very, very much. Call in anytime, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a wonderful intervention, right? What a wonderful intersection. Because that's just what I was thinking about, right? Those young men and young women who, on the family island, build a little boat, do their little thing. As adults, like the caller said, we're not afraid to take calculated risks, right? Like, listen, I know I need a change in my life. I know I need to do something different. I know I need to do everything different. And I'm ready for that challenge. I'm ready for this new job. I ain't scared to go walk on this new job. I ain't scared to tell my boss, yes, sir, I do need to learn. I'm ready. Where do I go? Those are the experiences, right, that form the adults that were not afraid to drive the Bahamas into the future. Good morning, caller. You're on the clock.
Pleasant good morning, Miss Greene, and your guests.
Good morning, sir. How you do?
And let's say, I guess, early happy birthday to the Americans.
Yes, sir.
They always got a couple of days ahead of us. Before the right behind. We try to be so American so much. We try to even do our independence in the month when they celebrate theirs. But anyway, whatever the reason they chose July, they did. But I want you to give me a moment to disagree with you on one particular thing,
Okay.
and then voice my opinion on something else. That a Junkanoo leader told me why he was so disappointed on the weekend with the motorcade.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Ms. Greene, I heard you said every Bahamian should learn how to swim.
Mm-hmm.
If you realize in the Bahamas lately how many shark attacks we have had.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I told you once before a little history about the swim meet we used to have from
In the harbor.
Woodford's Wharf to Montague Beach, up the harbor, and then end at Montague Beach. It used to be an annual swim meet.
Mm-hmm.
The harbor lately has something in it they call the harbor master. You know what that is?
Yeah, that he
A
controls the harbor.
19-foot-long hammerhead shark
Oh,
that
okay.
swims up and down our harbor.
Okay.
And sometimes it appears right on Montague Beach.
Uh-huh.
Almost comes up to the sand. People, all the boat masters in the Bahamas will tell you that the New Providence Harbor is a very dangerous place to go swim. Our beaches used to have a marker on the beaches, some white balls and stuff. Used to try to encourage people to go swimming, but try not to go out too far.
Mm-hmm.
They've moved those away because these jet skis fly up and down and come right up on the beach. It's a dangerous place to go swimming in the Bahamas now. The jet ski operators, they play around with these fast-moving little planes on the water and messing up people. So when you go to Saunders Beach and Sandyport and the caves and Montague, you could go in the water, but don't go out too far.
Mm-hmm.
There's some dangerous fish out there. God made man with two legs to walk upright on land.
That's why I wear
Made
shoes.
fish with gills to swim in the water.
Sparky, that's why I wear shoes in the water in case I get run on water.
Yeah, but you can't run on water because only Jesus walk on water.
Listen,
Peter failed.
you tell the Barracuda that.
Now let me tell you. I know you always cut Sparky quick. They always ask me why Sparky, why the woman always cut you so quick. But I want to make my second point, my second note.
Yes, sir.
A Junkanoo leader told me, and I was so sad to hear this, because of our Bahamian youth. I would call it our Bahamian youth. On Saturday, whenever the motorcade was, was not aware that this happened. That the motorcade went through the streets of the Bahamas, celebrating the Bahamas' 50th anniversary, playing some soca, playing Trinidadian music, playing everything except Bahamian music.
I got you,
On
Sparky.
a motorcade, celebrate the Bahamian 50th anniversary. We didn't even play our own music.
I got you, Sparky.
That is sad.
Thank you very much. Your note is registered. Your note is registered. That means we get it's very simple. There's a very simple answer to that, Sparky. The Independent Secretariat should have made out a call to all DJs, party promoters, and event organizers in the Bahamas, right? They should have had a meeting. People could come in person and zoom in virtually, and request, particularly for all special days and all special events, that only Bahamian music is played. It's very simple way to do it. But these DJs in the Bahamas, they something special. Some of them are a different type of special. First of all, I've been an event organizer, and can you imagine? I hire a DJ, I give him a playlist, and the DJ decide to play what he want to play. And on the list, I have songs that are restricted, right? Because you give a DJ license, he know how to get the party shaking. I am not a DJ, but I have a list of restricted songs. The DJ play the restricted songs. I pay him to play my event, you know. So the ministry could have dealt with that. I mean, the Independent Secretariat could have dealt with that by putting out a call and then every day promoting. During the month of July, for independent celebrations, we request that only Bahamian music is played. Unless it's a special day, say we celebrating another country's independence, and you play their music too. Right? We could handle that simply, but thank you very much, Sparky. On the second note, I think we weren't disagreeing at all, Sparky. Young people, everybody needs to know how to swim. They need to know how to handle themselves in the ocean. They need to know what to do if they suspect a shark is in the water. We live here. You talk about the jet skis, it's balancing the use of the ocean, right? We talk about the sharks in the harbor, it's about balancing our use of the ocean. The shark, like you say, the shark live there. We don't. We live on the shore. We can still use the ocean to our benefit without exploiting it or destroying everything that lives in it. Producer, take us to a break and play that song by New Wave Band. I love this song. We're playing all Bahamian music all the month of July. Not even my most favorite, except for maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we can play some American music for my American brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite songs. This got to be on the top 50 Bahamian list. And producer, then we go to a break. When we come back from the break, I got another question to throw on the table.
With an angel, an angel, an angel. I am dancing, Lord, an angel. With an angel, an angel, an angel. There's another boca, any other boca. Oh, what a girl in my arms. Just another boca, any other boca. But oh, what a girl in my arms tonight. Oh, what a girl in my arms.
I've been everywhere, man.
Janae's Uniform Center. We've traveled to every island in this here land, man. We go everywhere. We can go to every rock and key, Abaco to Inagua, even Ragged Island, The Rock. Celebrate our country's 50th independence with Janae's special limited edition. Sublimated t-shirts and caps in 10 different styles and colors. Get up to 50% off on cotton polo shirts only. Don't forget to embroider your company's logo to celebrate this independence at Janae's Uniform Center, Chesapeake Road. Call 394-8385 or 6. WhatsApp text only 817-3295. Email sales@janaes.com.
I've been everywhere.
As the Bahamas observes 50 years of independence, the Nassau Guardian is doing something special for our readers. During the week of July 3rd, as we count down to Independence Day, we will roll out a series of publications to mark this momentous occasion. We will remember the events that led us to becoming a nation state. We will trace our development over the last 5 decades, and we will consider where we want to be in the next 50. You don't want to miss our exciting lineup of independence supplements, as each is guaranteed to be a keepsake. Happy Independence, Bahamas, from the Nassau Guardian, your trusted source for news.
We're gonna give you a check every week for a year. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, keep you winning. Percy's Pension Plan, dream big, we will help you live it. Percy's Pension Plan, Island Game, we got you. Percy's Pension Plan, from the friends you can trust. If winning is a must, come play the game you know, cause your best chance is with us. The most trustworthy name is Percy's Island Game. So put 20 on your account and ride this easy train at Percy's Island Game.
The Water and Sewage Corporation wishes to advise the public, its customers, and the residents of Wilton Street off Mackey Street, inclusive of side corners, that there may be an interruption to their water supplies between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on June 12th. 2023 for a total of 6 weeks to perform new main installation on Wilton Street. During this period, there may also be road closures and detour around the work areas. Motorists are asked to avoid this area between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. The corporation apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates your support as they work to improve their level of service.
Girl, you see how Cora eye look funny, all black up yesterday?
But she says she bumped into a wall when she's running after the churn dam.
Yeah, but last Saturday, you see her arm was all black and blue, right?
So what you saying? You think something wrong between her and Jack?
I ain't sure, but you know Jack is a jealous man. I hear him and Cora last Friday. I hear him say he hear Cora have eyes for Junior.
Now you know that ain't true. Cora is a good woman, does mind her business, take care of them churn, and go to church every Sunday. So what you think we should do?
I think we should report Jack, you know. Cora don't say nothing, but silence hides violence, and we don't want to line up in the cemetery.
Not me. I ain't getting in nobody business, then Jack come after me, and I line up next to Cora.
No know, man, we could call or text Crime Stopper. And remember, we can even get some grocery money for our tip.
Remind me again, how does this work?
We can call them in Miami at 328-TIPS or 328-8477. Or when we in the island, call toll-free at 300-TIPS or 300-8477. And if you don't have no minutes, use the Crack Crime Bahamas app and we could text them and the messages get on mix up before it leave your phone so nobody can know what you saying.
So what we waiting on then? Let's go earn some grocery money.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Out on the rolling sea, Jesus speak to me. But out on the rolling sea when he come. Oh, but out on the rolling sea when Jesus speak to me. Oh, Lord, but out on the rolling sea when he come. My God, but out on the rolling sea when Jesus speak to me. Give it up here. Lord, out on the rolling sea when he come. I remember that day, but out on the rolling sea when Jesus speak to me. My Lord, but out on the rolling sea when he come. Oh, Lord, God, but out on the rolling sea.
Welcome back to On the Clock with Erin Greene on this Monday, the 3rd of July. It's Independence time, people, and these are the Independence Papers. We came back in with the song Out on the Rolling Sea, performed by John Roberts. You could find that on YouTube as well. I mean, we got songs about the sea. Yes, we do. That's what we are. We are an archipelago. And the vast majority of our songs should be about the sea and how we live on it, our lives. Like that should be what's rising out of our culture. All right, I almost forgot we're doing $100 giveaways today. Let me repeat the question for the audience. When was the Bahamian flag first raised? When was the flag of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas first raised? That's our first question for the day. The numbers to call 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, 242-300-5720. Now, Mr. Nuri, I'm going to read off some of the questions that I have, and then I'm going to go into the thing I want to talk about to close off this first Independence Papers session. So some of the things I think, the questions we need to ask. Are we better off being independent?
Yes. That's quick with that. Too quick for the answer?
Yeah. No, that's quick. I had a part two. But yeah, okay, yes. Should we become a U.S. territory?
No.
A British territory?
No.
51st state of the United States of America?
No.
Okay, just throwing them out there.
No, I'm answering quick.
Because these are questions that people are still asking.
I get an A on this test. Go ahead. What else?
Should we become a republic?
No. I answered too quickly for that one.
I mean, do you think you answered too quickly for that one?
No, I think I secure would say no, but still.
Okay, why not? Why shouldn't we become
I think we need to develop and hash out democracy here first, right?
Mm-hmm.
To understand what democracy is and grow towards any new system of governance, which people are proclaiming
that they want
a republic. I don't think that we have learned the Westminster system yet.
We haven't even learned how to say it properly.
We don't even know how to vote properly and do the constitution reform to craft and duplicate a brand new concept where few people even familiar with, which the United States is struggling with, which the rest of the world is struggling with, and think that we are the blessed society to adopt it and do it properly. It's silly. It's madness. It's madness.
Right. Okay, but
let's learn to do this properly first, and then we can do different structures of this democracy that we do have now. And then if it concludes with a republic, so be it. But we have yet to define us as a people, yet to express our democracy properly here at current time.
Okay, but if we were to become a republic,
we'll be struggling just like how we're struggling now.
Which islands would be states, and which state would you live in?
Well, I think we are small to have a state. I say we maybe have a northern state and a southern state, only because we can't be divided by islands, and maybe Abaco, New Providence, Grand Bahama as a state, and everything else is a second state. Only two. We can't go beyond two.
The other state, don't say the second state.
Or the other states. Then they'll help define themselves to the lower ones, and we help define ourselves to the other ones. But I think we're just too small to. We have big ideas, loftier goals without any work put into it. Just like talk.
Yeah.
Just like talk. We decades away from getting to where this conversation is. Decades away.
Well, I mean, it's a good thing we got time.
We have a lot of time on our side.
We get a lot of time. Cooking time,
Yeah.
more importantly.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking time is a superfood. If you're suffering from respiratory issues, speak to your doctor and ask him, will a cup of thyme tea help to alleviate my sinus issues? Yeah, we got nothing but time. Okay, more questions. What is the single most important accomplishment over the last 50 years?
Independence.
What is the most detrimental issue we have not resolved over the last 50 years?
Education reform.
Think that's it?
I think that once we have an educated populace, everything else is going to be adjusted. That's healthcare, that's all of the government systems.
Everything will fall into
place as soon as we get educated.
I think my answer is we have more dollars and cents, and we haven't resolved that yet. But I think that's education.
Education too.
Yeah. Okay. What have been the greatest cultural shifts in the Bahamas?
The transition from a European Anglo thinking to a more African-centric thinking, and the combination of both. We are still have angst on how we join those two concepts of being Bahamian.
Because I'm thinking shift from Anglo to American.
And we are very American.
But
isn't American Anglo also?
In some sense, but not in this particular sense, right? So from British to American, and I think the same difficulty you talk about arises in that space there because the only model in America is the African American.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Bahamians don't want to model, right? They don't see that as their model.
No.
They see themselves as white.
We do see ourselves as
In that
ontologically
model,
white.
right? In that model. And I think, so these are all questions I think we need to touch on. So tomorrow I'm asking my audience to call in with their favorite independence memory or experience. To answer these questions we've thrown on the table, and then some new ones. Is it too late for national service? Do we need to consider that for the next 50 years?
I just don't understand what it is.
Go train like you in the
military.
You train and build the skills to defend your country, A, and B, run your country.
See, that's two different concepts. Either it's defend or run. I can run my country without going to any military school. That's just go to SAC. Go to SAC one time, you straight.
Can you defend your government's? Can you defend your government systems and policies?
And is that national service? Is that what they plan to put? Now, mind you, when you say that, I embrace that readily to understand governance, to understand the civil service in general, and to defend it, to say, well, this is why we do these things. Mm-hmm. But when you say national service, I think of a military service type thing. And even a trade school, which I said, there's no need for a national trade school. You forced me to learn how to change tie and thing.
Yes.
Yes?
The answer is yes. That's a great idea. I love it.
That's everybody learning to change tire.
And other things.
Other things like what?
Like plumbing.
Like plumbing.
And how to build a boat in case it floods.
Well, we know that. I mean, we know that the Bahamas will be submerged by water one day. But I'm more scared of fire and brimstone than flooding. I get a rainbow saying that I ain't gonna worry about flooding no more. I'm just saying, if you could think of something that could stop fire, I would appreciate that.
We still, that is something, me.
I can't think of
It's there. No, it's there. It exists.
It exists?
It exists, and we're going to rediscover the ways that our ancestors would have dealt with fires.
Yeah.
Without the technology we have available. So I got some text here I will read off. Morning, Erin. Our biggest problem in the last 50 years is migrating. I think that too many Bahamians have migrated and there's a brain drain, and that's a big problem too. Texter. Text me back if we're talking about the same thing. Texter. Another text here says, English-speaking Caribbean Federation, including Belize and Guyana.
Or what?
I think that may be about cultural shifts.
Okay.
Or detrimental. Share health, education, security, and one economic space. Keep national currencies. Okay, so I think somebody is saying this is an idea moving forward, right, in the next 50 years?
I love the idea of national currency and would challenge back or push back and say we don't have a national currency. Our currency is a reflection of the U.S. currency. So technically, we have a U.S. currency here.
Yeah, we can keep that.
You minus U.S. currency and see if our currency make any sense.
Dear Texter, I like that. We're going to flesh that out. I'm going to make that a whole segment, right? Like, should we become a republic moving forward, right? What should the Bahamas look like moving forward? Thank you, Texter. Okay, we are almost all out of time. I got one text answer to the question, but I think this person may have one before. So I'm not sure if I could give it to them. But the answer to the question is, the flag, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, was first raised on midnight, July 10th, 1973.
I would have said July 9th at 11:59, but yeah, that's subjective, eh?
Yeah. It depends on who's lifting. If Mr. Christie was raising the flag, it's going to take a little longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was up in the air at 12:01.
Right. So they 1 minute.
So it was hoisting at that 11:59 was hoisting.
You sure? Because that's what we would learn in the military, in national service, how to hoist the flag properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of these things.
I learned that in my high school too, how to hoist a flag properly. What do you got to go do that one school, you know?
SAC?
Yeah, there you go.
That's the one?
Apparently
They teach
so.
you that too?
They teach me how to fly, how to hoist a flag.
I see why y'all call it the big red machine. Anyway, we love SAC. Don't mind Mr. Nuri in here. He trying to bait me.
I'm just saying.
Because I'm from QC, the greatest
They taught
school.
people how to hoist the flag and how to connect what a machine with a microphone. The microphone, the PA system.
And that's very important as well.
Yeah.
Remember the
That's
earlier
a skill.
conversation about DJs?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And we got plenty more questions like free trade agreements and public-private partnerships. Are we taking them with us into the next 50 years?
We need a show in the next 50 years.
Yeah.
I'll adopt that for tomorrow.
I think we need a new national motto as well.
Before forward, upward, onward, together.
Yeah.
You don't like that?
No, I'm just saying maybe we need a new national motto as well.
Why?
Why not?
There you go.
The country must always be a reflection of those who have built it.
I find that things going AWOL after we expelled the pirates. Things was much better in the Bahamas when we had pirates.
Yeah. Maybe it's that motto I want to change. Is it too late to change that?
No, because
Pirates expelled, commerce restored?
this commerce of slavery ain't working for me.
No.
No.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like this commerce of slavery.
We shall not take it with us into the next 50 years.
This commerce restored ain't working.
Anyway, guys, tune in tomorrow for more On the Clock giveaways. I've got more questions for you. These easy questions, man. These easy questions. Next time I can ask a hard question. Like, if the good Lord never went on holidays, and why did he make the Bahamas? That's a difficult question.
That's a profound question, too.
Yeah.
That means we special.
I love it. Producer, it's time to go. Play that song by Jay Mitchell for me.
I like Jay Mitchell.
Jay Mitchell is prolific. I mean, he's got songs.
And he has anthems.
And different genres as well. You could, any style you like, Jay Mitchell sang it. But this is one of my favorites. It's very difficult to find. In fact, I don't even think I found this one on YouTube. Someone sent this one to me. This is Jay Mitchell, cover of Islands in the Streams. Streams. Education. I can get on it.
That had a Bahamian song? What?
It should be. We could just claim it as our own. It's going to take a couple seconds. We can't have any dead air. Mr. Nuri.
Well, as you look for that song, I thought it was Bahamian, but now I remember the Western songs. We used to sing that.
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton, yeah. But I always thought it was a Bahamian song. They teach that from us, you know?
Yeah. But if you can't get that one, maybe we could play it tomorrow, producer. Play any one of those songs on the list. You could play my favorite song. This perhaps is my favorite song. Sailor Man song by Basil B.J. Smith. This should also be a classic.
Mm-hmm. That's good. The whole Bahamas is debating about music, Bahamian music now. That's a good thing. There's a good debate going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, say the song.
By Basil B.J. Smith. Perhaps one of the newest classics out there. Rolly Gray.
Get a sailorman sound. Rolly Gray, your boat needed bailing out. Get a sailorman sound. You wanna go to heaven, put the rudder on your head, boy. That's a sailorman sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the rudder on your head, boy. That's a sailorman sound.